olive oil, and za'atar spice.
We are tracking an AccuWeather alert right now. Philadelphia Mayor Cherelle Parker has called a press conference regarding today's winter storm and the upcoming bitter cold temperatures. Let's listen in now to that press conference at Delworth Park.
The Cheryl Hill and Chief Deputy Mayor Sincere Harris. We are here on today to provide an update on the winter storm that we are experiencing, along with, and this is extremely important, an update on the cold temperatures we're expecting in our city this evening and throughout the coming week. You're going to hear from our managing director, our police commissioner, streets, and our homeless services. But before they provide specifics on the storm and the weather, I want to start by saying a special word and thank you to all of our city workers who are out there preparing and working to keep our city safe. We see you. We know that you are out there working now, and we appreciate you. Let's give our municipal employees a round of applause. Thank you, and we mean that. This is the times when it matters. Our streets department work crews are already out on the streets. What are they doing? They're salting the roads and getting ready to remove the snow once it accumulates. I'm hoping it stays just like it is right now. Our police department and fire department personnel who are out there every day, regardless of the weather, patrolling the streets, responding to our calls, and keeping people in the city of Philadelphia safe. To our Office of Homeless Service Workers, who along with Parks and Recreation employees, free library workers, they are working hard right now to operate our new Warming Centers initiative. This is about providing a warm and safe place for people to go during these extremely cold temperatures that we have been experiencing. Again, we have the best municipal workforce in the nation, and we thank them all for their services. What did OEM, what did Teal and Dominic and the rest of the team share with me? And this is as it relates to the national weather forecast. Snow, possibly mixed with rain, all becoming snow after 4, heavy at times, 2 to 4 inches expected in the city of Philadelphia, with more in the outlying suburban areas. Why are we here? Because we've heard that on Sunday night, the snow is expected to continue, and with areas blowing snow, and that's important. That's where the accumulation can increase here in the city. Now, tomorrow, this is extremely important, Philadelphia, because you know we're going to be celebrating the King, Dr. Martin Luther King, and there are literally dozens and dozens of events taking place across the city of Philadelphia. And so while the temperatures could prospectively get down to about 6 degrees while we're doing our work right now to salt the streets, that becomes extremely important, because when we do it right and we're working with Mother Nature, the hope is that you can still travel to and fro for those King events on tomorrow. So our Managing Director Teal and Streets Commissioner Del Rossi, we need you to know that city personnel and equipment, everything is fully deployed. They're already working to handle both the storm and the extreme temperatures following behind it. Streets, they're salting and clearing streets. Dominic's team and OEM, they're tracking and monitoring and coordinating every element of this storm and what our response as a city will be. We do have a cold blue that's going back into effect in just a few hours, Philadelphia, and our Office of Homeless Services and Executive Director Hill, she's going to tell you about the details of what that means in a few minutes. Again, those warming center initiatives. We've already seen thousands of Philadelphians during previous extreme cold weather here in our city, but we're going to have to reopen them and continue to serve residents and neighborhoods across the city. Philadelphia, what's my message here on today as your mayor? That we are very clear that this kind of weather can be very dangerous, and it can harm, hurt, and/or even kill people. And we know that. And so we don't want to take it lightly. That's why we're doing everything that we possibly can to keep our roads clean and our residents safe. I'm now going to turn things over to our Managing Director, Adam Teal.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I was at a business in South Philly this morning and was sitting there, and all of a sudden all the talking stopped, and a bunch of people turned around and looked out the window on South Street and said, well, that's a snowplow. They're going down the street, salting the street. We've only ever seen that one time before, which was last year with our administration, with Mayor Parker's administration. Mayor, that's not a coincidence. So people are noticing it. They're seeing it. As Mayor Parker said, this is not to alarm anybody who's going to or already at the Eagles game. We are doing our absolute best. We have crews out already who are taking care of the streets, being as proactive as we can be with what remains a very dynamic forecast. We want everybody to be aware of potential conditions now, during, and after the game. So as you've seen with past alerts, sometimes we get less snow than predicted, sometimes more. We are always in a challenging spot for the National Weather Service to forecast because we are often, as with this event, right on the line between snow and freezing rain and other types of participation. So we're monitoring the storm very closely. We are also monitoring whether there will be a need for snow emergency routes. That wouldn't be until later this evening. And please monitor all your normal social media channels, the weather, and of course all of our news stations will have that information. In addition to the snow, and that's another reason we're up here, these bitterly cold temperatures that we're dealing with again. We entered our first code blue of the year on Friday, and now we're starting our next one today. We've had dozens and dozens, actually hundreds of city workers, very dedicated city workers, literally working around the clock to provide new warming centers, thanks to Mayor Parker and her leadership, to expand our number of shelter beds, to expand outreach. We have dozens of teams that are out there doing outreach, and we hope that you will help us. You'll hear more about that later. We really do need everybody. It's an all-hands-on-deck effort for our city staff and city government and all of our intergovernmental partners, and we always need your help to make sure that folks who are out there that you see know whom to call, know that shelter is available, know we have warming centers, and of course drive very carefully during these difficult conditions. We're all looking forward tomorrow to our King Day of Service events. Every expectation, as Mayor Parker said, that those will go forward. Other potential impacts of the extremely cold weather: please make sure that your pipes don't freeze. There's a lot of great information on the Philadelphia Water Department's website about how to prevent that, how to help prevent that. We do expect there to be other impacts to our infrastructure with this severe deep freeze. Please recognize and understand and be patient with our crews as they are out there taking care of this. The fire department is extremely busy in these circumstances. The police department, water department, streets, everybody is busy, and all of these city workers are working literally around the clock to do everything they can to keep our city safe, clean, and green, even as we are dealing with this very difficult weather. Mayor, back to you. Commissioner Bethel.
Right. Okay. All right. And this, we're going to hear from Commissioner Bethel, Streets Commissioner Del Rossi, and then OHS Executive Director Cherelle Hill.
All right. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for your leadership. I'll be very quick. I mean, part of our work is to coordinate with the partners here today. That is our core function, as the mayor said, 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The Philadelphia Police Department is engaged with our fire department and our other partners. So we are prepared to do that. We stand ready to respond to any conditions that we see out here. We do encourage those out here to stay off the roads. I mean, for us to be a very effective and have an effective strategy, I'm sure my colleagues here will share that. Staying off the roads are very important. If you use public transportation, that is extremely helpful for all of us. We also stand ready to support our vulnerable population as we work in partnership with our team here, with the Managing Director's office and his team. You know, any individuals who need to get to one of our warming stations or into our shelters, they can call 911, and we'll be fully prepared to be able to support that. But what I want, and then, as you know, we have the Eagles game.
Yeah.
So we expect after that win today that we will be fully engaged. We do have additional personnel down at the stadium to be able to support when folks are leaving the game tonight after celebrating the win. we will be prepared for that. But I just want to reemphasize to the public, 911, our staffing, we will hold over staffing if we need them. We'll be fully prepared to deal with any emergencies, to support our partners in our efforts today. And again, I want to thank the mayor for her leadership. It's so critical here.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Parker. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. The Department of Streets' #1 goal during every winter weather event is to make sure all roadways across the city are safe to travel and keep the city running. Snow operations in the city of Philadelphia began yesterday in preparation of the winter weather event. Starting at 7:30 this morning, the Department of Streets had over 200 pieces of equipment and 350 city employees on standby ready for snow operations. Our crews spent the morning preparing to service all roadways across the city. Additional city forces are on standby to assist with snow operations. The scale of the snow operations is huge. Hundreds of city workers and dozens of partnered organizations are mobilized. Residents have a job to do too. Avoid unnecessary travel. Go slow and use caution if you have to drive. Look out for our crews and trucks. And within 6 hours of the storm ending, sidewalks have to be cleared at least 36-inch wide path. Do not toss the snow in the street. With the frigid temperatures coming afterwards, thank you to all stakeholders in supporting this deployment, but I would also like to spend a special thanks to our city workers for their dedication in ensuring the roadways are safe in all neighborhoods throughout the city of Philadelphia. Once again, I would like to thank the residents for being patient with us during this winter weather event. And please remember, the city will make sure all roadways are treated and safe. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Office of Homeless Services enacts a Code Blue to save lives. So when a Code Blue is activated, it's because the temperature has went below 32 degrees with precipitation such as today, or the wind chill goes below 20 degrees. And we want anyone who wants to come in to come in. But we also want the residents of Philadelphia to call if you see someone in an unsafe condition. So the number is 215-232-1984. And what we have done is during a Code Blue, we open up 500 additional beds and over 200 places in the warming centers. So we want to make sure that everyone has a place to go. Now on Wednesday, we will be doing what's called a point in time count. And what that means is we are sending volunteers out to see how many people are who are unsheltered or on the streets. So if you're activated or you have a privately funded warming center, we want to know that as well, because we want to be able to go and count the individuals who are in those warming centers. And every person who's unsheltered who we reach on Wednesday will also receive a gift card to help with some of the resources that they need. So I just want to reiterate 215-232-1984 if you see someone who needs some help. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Hill, you said 215-232-1984? Yes. That's the number, Philadelphia. There is no excuse. If you see someone who is unsheltered during this cold blue and these extremely low temperatures, call that number. There is more than enough support available to ensure that all Philadelphians are protected during this time. Now, Streets Commissioner Del Rossi talked about traveling to make sure that it is essential. Let me be 1,001% clear. Traveling to the Eagles game today is essential travel. If you are driving, just go slow, but get there. If you are catching SEPTA and mass transit, just get on mass transit and get there. But making it to our Philadelphia Eagles game on today is essential. Thank you all so very much, and we now want to take some questions. Any? Well, listen, we've got to do this.
All right, so that is Philadelphia Mayor Cherelle Parker, joined by other city officials to talk about the snow and the bitter cold temperatures that are on the way. They say that 200 pieces of equipment, 350 city employees, they've been out since this morning to assist in snow operations. They're going to have extra personnel down in South Philadelphia after the Eagles game tonight to help with that. And of course, Peyton, we've been talking about it. These bitter cold temperatures are coming. A Code Blue will go into effect. Warming centers will open up this week. And really, they want people to know that if they see anyone who's homeless on the streets, to call 215-232 232-1984. We're going to have all that up on our website, 6abc.com. But for now, you have all the answers with the forecast.
I hope to have some answers for you. We've got snowfall continuing through the northwest suburbs right now, up and along I-95. Temperatures are critical to see this actually make it to the surface and stick as snow. We're still right around freezing, if not above, for Philadelphia, so we're waiting for this to really settle into place this afternoon. The activity filtering back in close to our exclusive radar site in Lancaster County. But remember, it's not just the fact that we're going to see accumulating snow, especially northwest of I-95 today, with all this exiting to the northeast around 10 o'clock tonight. It is that dangerous cold that settles in tomorrow, especially tomorrow night into Wednesday. Our morning wind chill values could be anywhere between 5 to 15 degrees below zero. Your afternoon, early evening wind chills below zero or in the single digits. That's where those concerns of frostbite as well as hypothermia come into place. So don't forget to keep an eye on the pets, those you love, and of course, make a lot of plans indoors because we're going to be spending time there through the majority of this week.
That is the place to be today and throughout the week this week. Stay with Action News on air and online. We will bring you the latest updates on the storm and on the latest news headlines as we learn more. But for now, we will return you to regular programming.
I'm meteorologist Brittany Boyer with an AccuWeather update. We continue to watch our winter storm as it unfolds as we get you through the rest of this afternoon and also this evening. You can see we have a number of winter weather advisories, also winter storm warnings highlighted in pink, and that does include the city of Philadelphia and all areas north and west. That warning until 1 a.m. and the snow north and west will be the heaviest. And we are seeing some steady snow at this point this afternoon. Live on Sky 6, looking at the view from the pagoda in Reading. Nearly whiteout conditions here, low visibility, 28 degrees. And you can see, looking at Storm Tracker 6 live radar over the last 30 minutes, we've been watching the intensity of the snowfall pick up from parts of Lancaster County into Berks County on north and east into parts of the Lehigh Valley. The northeast extension, I-78, being some of those major roadways that go through that heavy snowfall. We have had a report of about 1 inch of snow in Norristown and Montgomery County, and you can see the snow that also lighter in intensity into parts of western Chester County, but not everybody's seeing the snow right now. We did have some steady snow and a mix here in Philadelphia, but right now we have somewhat of a dry slot right over Philadelphia, parts of New Jersey, rain showers at the shore as temperatures there are above freezing. So at this point, snowfall continues to come down north and west of the I-95 corridor. As we continue through the next several hours, we'll continue to see that snowfall filling in along the I-95 corridor. By 5 o'clock this evening, it's snowing for most of the viewing area. The exception still along the Jersey shore, but eventually after sunset, as temperatures drop and the atmosphere cools, we'll go from rain to even snow at the shore. 7:30 this evening, still light to moderate snow showers, and then shortly thereafter, we'll start to see everything fading away. All of this is done by about 10-11 o'clock tonight. The highest snowfall totals, I-95 and points north and west. That's where we're expecting as much as 3 to 6 inches of snow. Perhaps some spots could see a little bit more than that. And then the totals drop off as you head south and east, 1 to 3. Toms River, places like Williamstown, Dover, Middletown. And then we'll see the least amount of snow at the Jersey shore, a coating to 1 inch. As this wraps up, the snow winds down tonight, but keep in mind temperatures are very cold. Standing water, slush, anything that's left over will refreeze tonight. I'm going to have another update at the top of the hour, but for now, back to regular scheduled programming. I'm meteorologist Brittany Boyer with an AccuWeather alert weather update. We are tracking a winter storm that has already produced 1 to 2 inches of snow in parts of our area, and we're really starting to see the snowfall come together now as our storm really gains its momentum. You can see some of the snowfall totals, not super impressive at this point, but we have had 1 to 2 inch reports north and west of Philadelphia. So getting into areas around Quakertown, also Germansville as you work your way into the Lehigh Valley, Norristown, Pottstown, just over an inch of snow, and a few other reports north and west of Philadelphia. About 1.5 to 2 inches have been the highest numbers that have come in so far. Visibility is greatly reduced where it is snowing at a pretty good rate. This is a Sky 6 live view down in Reading, the view from the pagoda. So looking from above down toward the city of Reading, just 26 degrees right now. Our wind chill a brutal 14, and you can see Storm Tracker 6 live radar, a 30-minute loop showing the snow at a steady clip for areas like Pottstown, Reading, areas like 422, the Northeast Extension, the Pennsylvania Turnpike. It is all snow right now, and even here in Philadelphia, we had a little bit of a dry slot over the last hour or two, but the snow is starting to fall once again. 33 degrees. Our temperatures are dropping, and we're going to see more of that snowfall accumulating here along the I-95 corridor. A mixed bag of precipitation as you work your way down into parts of northern Delaware, also into parts of New Jersey here. But as our atmosphere continues to cool, all areas will see a transition into snow. That also includes the Jersey Shore, where it's just plain rain right now. Notice all of the snowfall primarily near I-95 and areas north and west. Looking at temperatures, you can see where we support the snow at the moment with highs in the 20s and 30s. It's 33 in Philadelphia. Meantime, at the shore, we're still holding on to those temperatures in the upper 30s. The next several hours, we'll be dealing with steady snowfall, rain changing to snow at the coast. This is around 7:30 this evening. And then as we continue into the late night hours, all of this tapers off. But behind the storm, it is going to be about the bitter cold. A cold weather advisory goes into effect at 10 o'clock tonight and continues through Tuesday morning. There's a lot to talk about. I'll have more updates coming up on Action News at 5 o'clock, but we'll send things back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with meteorologist Brittany Boyer and Walter Perez.
A snowstorm is moving through the region right now. Parts of the area could see up to 6 inches of snow by the end of the night. Then we're in store for a stretch of brutally cold conditions. It is Sunday night. I'm Walter Perez. The big story in Action News is an AccuWeather alert in place. The snowfall could create some dangerous conditions for drivers on the roads. Action News reporters Katie Catro and Sharifa Jackson will have an update from South Philadelphia and King of Prussia. But first, we go to meteorologist Brittany Boyer with our first check of the AccuWeather forecast. Brittany.
And you could just see the variability and the locations that Sharifa and Katie are in. It has been all about locations. Some areas are seeing plain rain right at this moment, while others have already picked up a couple of inches of snow. The steadiest snow by far has been northwest of the I-95 corridor, 2.5 inches in East Coventry Township. That puts you around the Pottstown area. Lancaster, about 2.5 inches. Berwyn in Chester County, 3 inches of snow. And you can see some of the other reports. East Norton around Norristown, over 3 inches. Nazareth in the Lehigh Valley, close to 3.5 inches. And Spring Township, just outside of Reading, already closing in on 4 inches of snow. The actual storm itself is well to our south, but the next few hours, as this continues to deepen and strengthen and move its way parallel to the coast, we're going to see more of that snowfall continuing, even in areas right now where it's just plain old rain. So you can see Storm Tracker 6 live radar, our exclusive radar site out in Lancaster County, showing some of those steadier pockets of snowfall. Looking at things a little bit closer north and west from Reading up toward the Pennsylvania Turnpike, or the Northeast Extension, I should say, the snow is coming down at a pretty good clip. South and east around the city of Philadelphia, we have light snowfall right now, and then the Jersey Shore, it's just plain rain. But give it a little bit of time. As temperatures continue to cool, all areas will end as snow. And we're looking at the snow wrapping up between about 9 and 10 o'clock tonight. Behind the snow, it is going to be about the bitter cold air that sets in. We're looking at winds tonight gusting to around 35 miles per hour, and the temperatures overnight tonight falling into the teens. So slippery, also snow-covered roads. Bitter cold to talk about for tomorrow and the next couple of days. Walter, more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds brutal. All right, thank you, Brittany. Eagles fans would never allow a little snow to get in their way of the fun. Parking lots at the link filled up early this morning with people ready to tailgate well ahead of today's playoff matchup against the Rams. This comes as Mayor Cherelle Parker provided an update on conditions and city plans following the game. Action News reporter Katie Catro joins us live from South Philadelphia with much more. Katie.
Hi, Walter. Fans are not letting the snow get in the way of enjoying a good time here at the link. With the flakes coming down, Philadelphia Eagles fans were still out in full force tailgating in the parking lots around Lincoln Financial Field, ready to embrace a snow game.
I have a heated electric jacket.
Mayor Cherelle Parker knows the cold and snowy weather will not deter Birds fans from showing up.
Let me be 1,001% clear. Traveling to the Eagles game today is essential travel.
Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel is predicting a win and says extra officers will be on hand to assist as fans return home tonight.
So we do have additional personnel down at the stadium to be able to support when folks are leaving the game tonight after celebrating the win.
Tailgaters are confident Saquon Barkley will help them win today's game.
I'm going to go 37-10. Big win. Lots of yards. Snow is going to help us.
Eagles fans may remember the 2013 game in the snow against the Lions, where Eagles running back LaShawn McCoy had a big day on the ground. And who was the quarterback on the Lions? None other than Matt Stafford. Fans are sure they can win against Stafford again.
We're going to lather up plenty of layers.
Whoever wins today's game will host the Commanders next Sunday. But first, fans will have to endure the wintry conditions as they head back home tonight.
We want everybody to be aware of potential conditions now, during, and after the game.
Let's go, Birds!
All right, let's go Birds. The Birds are currently winning 16-13. We'll see if they can keep it up. Reporting live here in South Philadelphia, Katie Catro, Channel 6 Action News. Walter.
Can't keep the fans away. All right, thank you, Katie. Conditions on major roadways and side streets are worsening because of the snow. PennDOT has now reduced the speed limits on many highways. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson joins us live from King of Prussia with a check on conditions out there. Sharifa.
Yeah, Walter, we're in the prime location to just show you how fast things can change. Around 3:30, I was marveling of how clear the roadways were, but about 4 o'clock, it started snowing again. Around 3:30 is a little lull. And now you see what we have now. This happened literally in the last hour or so. The roads are looking much better than they were. Crews, they are repeatedly going back and forth. But the snow, as we know, it's pretty to look at, but it also can be pretty hazardous. When the snow started falling, it started falling fast. The work began early for snowplow operators, moving snow from parking lots before it got a chance to accumulate. For kids, it's a snow day to enjoy. The Patterson family made their way to Valley Forge National Historic Park to enjoy what Mother Nature delivered.
Good enough to get down and get yourself back up without trying to feel like you're climbing Mount Everest to come back up. So it works especially for the kids. They can come up at no problem.
This couple came to take in the picturesque views.
You know, a little historic. Valley Forge, snow, they go together.
It's beautiful outside, and we don't get that much snow around here anymore, so it seemed like a good opportunity.
In King of Prussia, at the start, major roadways remained pretty clear. The snow was sticking to the grass, but things still turned dangerous for some. On US 202 northbound in Wayne, where we spotted this car that slid down into the embankment. By 4 o'clock, 202 was covered in snow.
Snow's kind of fun every once in a while.
Jim Cooper is one of those people planning to stay put.
I'm semi-retired, so I don't have to travel through it, so that's all good.
Like Liz Feliciano, she's playing it safe.
I'm a Pennsylvania girl. I love all the seasons, so I'm happy to see the snow.
Yeah, we love all the seasons when we get them. Now, as you can see back out here live, the snow is still steadily coming down. The concern is for some of that freezing rain, the sleet that we saw that is washing away some of the salt that crews have been continuously putting down. So you want to be careful. Crews, they're still out here working. Just be vigilant if you are on the roads. We're live in King of Prussia. Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6 Action News. Walter.
Okay, Sharifa, thank you. DelDot crews are also working hard today. The action cam caught these trucks at the Price's Corner Shopping Center ahead of the snowfall. Crews are on standby along the 3100 block of Kirkwood Highway, waiting to clear the roads. And the snow came down in Phoenixville, Chester County this afternoon as well. The action cam was there catching vehicles driving down some snow-covered roads. There were also some people out walking their dogs in the frosty air. This winter storm is causing some headaches, as you'd imagine, for travelers. Taking a live look outside from our Sky 6 camera at Philadelphia International Airport. So far, 138 flights have been delayed. 29 flights have been canceled. You can download the free 6ABC app to get updates on this winter storm from our team of meteorologists. There you can also check out how much snow has fallen in your area. Time for a check of the AccuWeather forecast. Bitter cold temperatures are moving in following today's snowstorm. Meteorologist Brittany Boyer is here with the Arctic details. Brittany.
Yes, and we've already been watching our temperatures fall throughout the day today. Here in Philadelphia, we actually got to 39 degrees this afternoon. It took a little while for those temperatures to cool, but now we've dropped below freezing, so the precipitation that we're seeing is in the form of snowfall. It is 29 as we look at Sky 6 Live toward Independence Mall here. The flakes are coming down. We have a wind chill of 16, and you know what? That will feel a lot nicer than what we're expecting in the coming days, with some of our wind chills below 0 at times. So enjoy what we have right now. You might not be enjoying the precipitation as we look at Storm Tracker 6 live radar. The majority of the area is dealing with snowfall. We're starting to see more of a transition from rain into snow. I'll show you that in just a couple of moments. I do want to take note to areas northwest of Philadelphia. This is where we're starting to get some pretty decent snowfall reports. We just got one up into Berks County of 5 inches of snow, and it is still coming down right now. So use caution if you are going out on the roads. The snow is falling and it is sticking, especially with those temperatures below freezing. It took a little while. We did have a period of a wintry mix, even some sleet. I had one viewer comment on my social media that they had sleet for a while in Newcastle County, Delaware. Now it is in the form of snow, still holding on to that plain rain right along the immediate coast here, but we're going to see that changeover as the colder air moves in. Also want to mention that visibility is greatly reduced with the snow that's coming down right now. You can see it's down to a 1/4 of a mile in spots like Reading, 3/4 of a mile in Philadelphia, also west toward Lancaster, where we've already had 2 to 3 inches of snowfall. Future trackers showing as we continue through this evening, we have that north wind, so that colder air really pushing its way all the way toward the coast. This is around 7:30 this evening, still snowing at a pretty good clip. So those that went to the game, hopefully they put the snow brush in their car. They will need it by the time they leave. 10, 11 o'clock at night, all of the snow is moving out of here, but the cold really starts to funnel in. Look at overnight low temperatures down into the teens. Anything that is untreated will become slick, and areas north and west where the snowfall is a little bit more of a powdery consistency, that could be blowing around tonight and tomorrow as winds kick up. Gusts 30 to near 35 miles per hour tonight, and then gusts tomorrow right around 30 miles per hour. So how it will feel at best in the teens. You will want the layers, especially if you're out for MLK Day of Service. High temperatures tomorrow region-wide, staying below freezing. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. The bitter cold sets in, and we've issued alerts for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Notice overnight low temperatures are in the single digits, but it'll feel as cold as 0 to -15 with those wind chills overnight. High temperatures Tuesday and Wednesday only in the teens. That is the core of the cold. And then we start to recover as we head into the next couple of days. Temperatures jumping back into the 30s. Few clouds, not as cold. Friday mostly sunny at 32 degrees. And then Walter, we're continuing to trend a little bit milder as we approach next weekend.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Brittany. Now the details on the winter storm moving its way through the area right now. Some places can expect more than 6 inches of snow. Action News reporter Brianna Smith will have an update on conditions in Chester County. But first, we head over to meteorologist Brittany Boyer with an update from AccuWeather. Brittany.
And it looks like it's snowing pretty good down at the link right now as they're playing the game out there. And it's snowing pretty good here in the city of Philadelphia. But notice the sharp contrast in differences within our viewing area. The first image here is PHL Airport. I know it's difficult to see. We're down to 28 degrees. Meantime, at the shore, it has been kind of a chilly rain event for you so far. 37 degrees as you look at the boardwalk there in Ocean City. We are still dealing with rain, and we are still awaiting for those temperatures to drop, especially for parts of interior South Jersey and down at the Jersey Shore. But we have dropped quickly. It's just 25 in Reading, Allentown, 18 up there in the Poconos. We're sub-freezing in Philly, Wilmington, and then toward the Jersey Shore. That's where where we're holding on to those milder temperatures. An update on some of the snowfall totals that have been coming in. East Nantmeal Township in Chester County, 2.5 inches. Berwyn now up to 4 inches. Whitehall Township in the Lehigh Valley, 4.2. And you can see those highest snowfall totals happen into parts of Northampton, Berks County, with 5 inches being our top report so far. Here's the latest radar scan at the moment. You can see the steady snow continues back west into Lancaster, Reading, also Allentown. Here in Philadelphia, it is snowing at the moment, but the heaviest snowfall continues to be north and west of the city. Within the next hour or so, we're likely looking at that snow line creeping its way toward the coast. It looks like it's kind of right around the Mays Landing area, but even where we're seeing that plain old rain, expect a change over into snow and then the cold, Walter. We'll talk more about the bitter cold air and also cold weather advisory that was issued this afternoon. More on that in just a little bit.
All right, lots to talk about. Yeah. All right, thank you, Brittany. The snow is now starting to coat the roads and make conditions a bit slick for drivers out there. Action News reporter Brianna Smith joins us live from Westchester with a check on conditions out there. Brianna.
Walter, the snow is coming down and it's been this way for more than an hour now. Take a look at this parking lot. You can see that the snow is building up here, and then over on this main road, East Gay Street, the snow is also sticking there too, but crews have been making their rounds to plow these roads. You can see some of that slush left behind, but they are working hard throughout this area to keep the road conditions safe. Now, here's what it looked like on our way to Westchester Borough when we were met with sleet and snow on Route 202. We took it slow, of course, moving about 45 miles per hour. We also saw a few plow trucks on the highway removing the snow and putting down some salt. Now, once we arrived in Westchester Borough, the snowflakes were in Westchester Borough. The snow has been accumulating on the main and side roads quickly. Dave March, who is the Westchester Police and Fire spokesperson, says crews have been clearing and treating the roads since this morning, and they'll continue through the night and Monday. March says the freezing temperatures and snow turning to ice are a major concern and advises drivers to remain off the roads if possible.
We ask you to stay home for many reasons. For your safety, number one, but also for the safety of our emergency responders who are responding to calls to help people in need, and our snow plows who are doing a job of plowing snow and salting. We need to give them as much space as we can to get their job done and keep the roads safe.
That's right. And March says there is a snow emergency in Westchester Borough in effect through 9 a.m. tomorrow. And there is also one in Downingtown Borough. So as they say, if you can stay home and enjoy that Eagles game. Live in Westchester Borough, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News. Walter.
Okay, Brianna, thank you. You can download the free 6ABC app to get updates on this winter storm from our team of meteorologists. There you can also see how much snow has fallen in your area. All right, a few days of dangerously cold temperatures are expected to follow today's winter storm. Meteorologist Brittany Boyer joins us with a check of the AccuWeather forecast. Brittany.
And what a month it's been so far. I mean, January has not disappointed when it comes to snowfall and also cold temperatures. And you can see the flakes coming down right now as we look at Sky 6 Live down toward the Parkway. The flags are blowing, the wind is picking up, and we're not seeing too many people out and about, and for good reason. Of course, we've got the snow out there, but the next big thing that we're going to be tracking isn't just the snow, it is the bitter cold that sets in behind this storm. And I've been mentioning how it's been a cold month so far. For Philadelphia, we're about 2.5 degrees below normal for the month of January, and that number is just going to keep getting colder and colder. The coldest air that we've had so far this season, and really over the last couple of years, sets in especially Tuesday and Wednesday. Average now for highs in Philadelphia is right around 41 degrees. We are well below that tomorrow with temperatures only in the 20s, but both Tuesday and Wednesday, we're talking temperatures more than 20 degrees below average with back-to-back days with temperatures only in the teens. And with that said, this year the National Weather Service has started issuing something that's new. You probably remember wind chill warnings, wind chill advisories. They are no longer issuing that. They have instead replaced it with what they call cold weather advisories, and this goes into effect at 10 o'clock tonight, continuing until 6 a.m. on Tuesday. And with this advisory, the criteria for the bulk of our area is air temperatures or wind chills between 0 and 10 degrees. It gets a little bit colder as you head your way north and west. But it just gives you an idea of the colder air that we're expecting here. Tomorrow morning, you're waking up, wind chill values right around 8 o'clock in the morning, region-wide, only in the single digits. Tomorrow afternoon, your MLK Day of Service, we keep those wind chill values in the single digits, below 10 degrees, and then it gets even colder as we go from Monday night into Tuesday morning. You're heading back to work, the kids are heading back to school. We have wind chills as cold as 12 degrees below zero up into the Lehigh Valley. Temperatures right now not exactly that cold. We're still above freezing, especially for areas toward the shore, and that's where we have yet to transition from rain into snow. The majority of our area, it is a steady snow. We're already getting some 4 to 5 inch reports north and west, and we're looking at this steady banding that's currently setting up from central Delaware right into parts of interior South Jersey. So within the next couple of hours, that snowfall is going to continue to fill in, and it's eventually going to be tapering off as we go through about 9-10 o'clock tonight. And then it's all about the cold. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast shows AccuWeather alerts for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the bitter cold temperatures, wind chill values at times as cold as 10 below zero, if not colder than that. Thursday, we're starting to transition. It's not as harsh, 27, back to freezing on Friday with mostly sunny skies. And then our temperatures by the weekend finally feeling a little bit more seasonable, upper 30s to 40. Will feel pretty good around here.
We call that brutal.
Oh yeah,
that's brutal cold. All right, thank you, Brittany. It is Sunday night. I'm Walter Perez. The big story in Action News is an AccuWeather alert as a winter storm dumps snow on the area. This is a live picture from Sky 6 at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philadelphia. The Eagles are in the middle of a divisional battle with the Rams right there in the snow. And this is how it looks in Center City at this hour. The skyscraper is barely visible through the falling snow. PennDOT says speed limits have been reduced on major roads all throughout the region due to the road conditions. We have live team coverage of the snowfall tonight. Katie Castro at the link with cold Eagles fans. Brianna Smith and Sharifa Jackson in the suburbs. But we begin with meteorologist Brittany Boyer with details on what we can expect. Brittany.
Yes, we're dealing with the snow, and it's also impacting visibility at this moment too. I've seen some visibility reports around 1/4 of an inch per mile. So make sure you're being extra careful if you're on the roads. Looking at some of the snowfall totals, we continue to get updates from the National Weather Service. Millersville out west in Lancaster County over 3 inches, Berwyn 4 inches, Whitehall Township close to Allentown just to the north of it over 4 inches. Areas around Gilbertsville 4.5 inches, and you can see by far north and west the highest snowfall totals between about 4 and 5 inches being reported so far. This is what it looks like on Storm Tracker 6 live radar, exclusive radar site in Lancaster County, still showing some of those snow showers at the moment, but the edge of the snow that's wrapping up is getting close to some of these areas. We're starting to see the snow taper down in nearby Schuylkill County, so the intensity of the snowfall will start to pull away for parts of Berks County, the Lehigh Valley, not too long from now. More intense snowfall rates as you get your way around Philadelphia, Wilmington, Millville, still holding on to plain rain at the Jersey Shore, but this will end as snowfall for you. Looking ahead at the next several hours, what you can expect, the snowfall, we're anticipating it to wrap up between about 9 and 10 o'clock tonight. The winds will be picking up to 35-mile-per-hour gusts, and the temperatures come crashing tonight into the teens with those overnight lows. And we really struggle with the wind chills, Walter, over the next couple of days. More on the bitter cold in just a few minutes.
Temperatures are going to dip.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you, Brittany. Let's go to Action News reporter Katie Castro in South Philadelphia. And Katie, today's Eagles playoff game being played in a frosty home stadium.
Yeah, that's right, Walter. Fortunately, the Eagles are winning right now, and fans say this weather is no problem. They are here to see the Birds win. With the flakes coming down, Philadelphia Eagles fans were still out in full force tailgating in the parking lots around Lincoln Financial Field, ready to embrace a snow game.
I have a heated electric jacket.
Mayor Cherelle Parker knows the cold and snowy weather will not deter Birds fans from showing up.
Let me be 1,001% clear. Traveling to the Eagles game today is essential travel.
Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel is predicting a win and says extra officers will be on hand to assist as fans return home tonight.
So we do have additional personnel down at the stadium to be able to support when folks are leaving the game tonight after celebrating the win.
Tailgaters are confident Saquon Barkley will help them win today's game.
I'm going to go 37-10. Big win. Lots of yards. Snow is going to help us.
Eagles fans may remember the 2013 game in the snow against the Lions, where Eagles running back LaShawn McCoy had a big day on the ground. And who was the quarterback on the Lions? None other than Matt Stafford. Fans are sure they can win against Stafford again.
We're going to lather up, plenty of layers.
Whoever wins today's game will host the Commanders next Sunday. But first, fans will have to endure the wintry conditions as they head back home tonight.
We want everybody to be aware of potential conditions now, during, and after the game.
Let's go, Birds!
Go Birds!
All right, let's go, Birds. And you heard city officials say take it slow out on the roads, but you did hear the mayor say it is essential to travel to see the Birds, hopefully winning tonight. Reporting live here in South Philadelphia, Katie Castro, Channel 6, Action News. Walter.
The link looks like a snow globe behind you. All right, thank you, Katie. Sky 6 taking a live look at Philadelphia International Airport. There are more than 170 delays so far and have been growing by the hour. There's also a couple dozen cancellations due to the storm. You'll want to check your flight status before heading to the airport. Let's go live now to Action News reporter Brianna Smith in Westchester, Chester County. And Brianna, how are the conditions out there?
Well, Walter, the snowflakes have been coming down for more than 2 hours now, and they are piling up. Take a look at East Gay Street. We've seen crews plow this main road a few times now, but obviously they'll have to come back around because you can see the snow and slush building up, and it's doing so quickly. And we've also seen some drivers taking their time as they travel through the snow. Now, as for us, it was a little different as we made our way to Westchester Borough. We were met with sleet and snow on Route 202. We took it slow, of course, moving about 45 miles per hour. We also saw some plow trucks on the highway removing the snow and putting down some salt. PennDOT says in Chester County, 107 trucks are on the roads, and there are about 14,000 tons of salt stockpiled. Across the 5-county Philadelphia region, there are more than 430 trucks and more than 90,000 tons of salt. In Westchester Borough, the snowflakes were coming down swift and steady during the afternoon, accumulating on the main and side roads quickly. The borough's police and fire spokesperson says crews will continue to treat the streets throughout the night and into tomorrow. Now, we spoke to some drivers who decided to venture out.
I mean, the main roads are staying pretty nice, but just got to avoid the back roads. They're bad. Basically down to one lane. It's pretty backed up. There's a couple of accidents.
Like pretty slippery and just, I don't know, I've been trying to take my time. I came out to get a snack, so I don't know, definitely worth it. But if you don't have to go out, stay in the house.
Yes, stay home as the storm intensifies. PennDOT urges travelers to delay their plans to give crews the space that they need on the road, as well as first responders, so that they're able to do their job safely. Live in Westchester Borough, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News. Walter?
Okay, Brianna, thank you. Let's switch now to Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson live in King of Prussia, Montgomery County tonight. Sharifa.
Yeah, Walter, the snow is still coming down, as you can see, but things have calmed down quite a bit. But throughout the day, we've seen it all from snow to rain, freezing rain, and it did cause some problems on the roads.
No, I'm just used to the snow. You live in Philadelphia or the Pennsylvania area, so it don't matter.
I'm a Pennsylvania girl. I love all the seasons, so I'm happy to see the snow.
It can be pretty to look at, but in King of Prussia, it didn't take long for major roadways to become snow-covered and simply a mess. Crews were out trying to stay on top of what Mother Nature was dropping, but things still turned dangerous for some. Earlier in the day on US 202 northbound in Wayne, we spotted this car that slid down into the embankment. Emergency crews were quickly on the scene. Jim Cooper is one of the people who decided to stay inside.
I'm semi-retired, so I don't have to travel through it, so that's all good.
For kids and their parents at Valley Forge National Historical Park, it's a snow day to remember.
We came here a couple years ago. It was so much fun, but we really haven't had any snow since then, so it's the first time in a while now.
Yeah, the concern now is for some of the rain that we saw to potentially wash away that salt that was there to help treat the roads. Now, officials, they are sending out a warning to anyone who is out and about, especially as it gets later, to keep it slow, be safe on the roads. They say road crews are doing everything they can to continue to treat the roads. For Live in King of Prussia, Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6 Action News. Walter.
All right, Sharifa, thank you. Let's take a live look down the Jersey Shore. It began with rain down the shore, but it'll turn to snow before the storm moves out. Meanwhile, DelDot crews got a head start on today's snowfall. The action cam was there catching these trucks at Price's Corner Shopping Center this morning. Crews were also on standby along the 3100 block of Kirkwood Highway, waiting to clear the roads. Please keep the free 6ABC app handy during the storm and after for the latest conditions. You can also check out on the roads and stay up to date on the bitter weather that'll follow. Here's a look tonight at conditions in Manayunk. The action cam was there along Manayunk Avenue and Green Lane about an hour ago. You can see that the roads are covered with snow. Be sure to please take it slow if you travel through Manayunk. We'll have an update from meteorologist Brittany Boyer in our full AccuWeather forecast. Live pictures tonight as snow continues to fall all across the region, and it has been a long time since the ski resorts in Pennsylvania have had conditions this favorable. Here is Spring Mountain. Skiers and snowboarders having a great time. Meteorologist Brittany Boyer has much more in the full AccuWeather forecast, including some bitter cold moving our way, Brittany.
Oh, absolutely. And the snow has been falling at pretty intense rates, especially areas northwest of Philadelphia. It's a skier's dream to have this kind of fresh powder after some of the winters we've had around here. The snow will start to taper off in areas like where Spring Mountain is in the Schwenksville area, and then we turn our attention to the bitter cold that sets in. We already have some locations dealing with wind chill values in the teens right now, but take a look at our temperature trend here as we head into the next couple of days. Average in Philadelphia is 41 degrees. We will be well below that, and actual air temperatures by the time we head into Tuesday and also Wednesday, they are only in the teens. So you know the feels like conditions will be even colder than that. We do have cold weather advisories that have been issued for much of our viewing area by the National Weather Service for the concern of the wind chill values. Tomorrow morning, for example, 7 o'clock, if it's a work day for you, this is what you want to dress for. This is what it's going to feel like. Wind chill values across the board, even in Cape May, at best 10 degrees. If you're doing anything for MLK Day of Service, maybe you're outside, look at the wind chill values by about 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. It's a true struggle, feeling like it's 10 degrees or colder with those gusty winds, not really helping the situation. And look at the wind chill values by Tuesday morning. Maybe you're heading back to work. The kids are going back to school. Wind chill values below zero, as much as more than 10 degrees below zero as you work your way into locations north and west. So this is going to be the coldest air that we've seen by far in a few years coming in behind this storm. And an update on some of the snowfall totals. Chesterbrook now close to 4 inches of snow. Whitehall Township north of Allentown about 5 inches, over 5 inches as you work your way in New Hanover Township. That's around the Gilbertsville area. Spring Township outside of Reading, 6.5 inches of snow. And then the jackpot totals so far have been into parts of Lehigh County, over 6.5 to over 7 inches of snow. So here's how things look at this moment on Storm Tracker 6 live radar. Our exclusive radar site out of Lancaster County is starting to show that the snow is going to be tapering off fairly shortly here. You can see the intensity not quite as bright as some of the tones as you work your way east into Chester County, Newcastle County, also snowing at a pretty good clip here throughout parts of interior South Jersey. I've been watching our Sky 6 cameras, still haven't seen that transition just yet from rain into snow here at the shore, but that should be happening very, very soon. Behind the storm, I've been mentioning the cold. Look at the overnight low temperatures, well below freezing, in the teens, if not near 20 degrees. So anything left untreated will become very slippery, and a lot of blowing snow is possible where those snow ratio rates are a little bit more of a fluffier consistency north and west. Tomorrow we have wind chill values right around 10 10 degrees thanks to those wind gusts around 30 miles per hour. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. We have AccuWeather alerts Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for that bitter cold. Overnight temperatures in the single digits, but again, wind chills as cold as 10 degrees to, if not 15 degrees below zero. By Thursday, it's not as cold, 27. Friday, we're back to freezing. That'll feel nice. And next Saturday into Sunday, mix of clouds and sun, temperatures more seasonable after our brutal stretch to start the week.
32 on a Friday will feel balmy.
Yeah, compared to the teens.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Brittany.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with meteorologist Brittany Boyer and Walter Perez.
It was a slow start to today's snowstorm. There was a bit of a lull this afternoon above Center City, and then Old Man Winter did his thing all across the region. Now, with the threat of dangerously cold temperatures, everything outside will freeze overnight.
And this was a very quick moving storm. It's been one that was fun to watch when the Eagles were playing the Rams earlier today, and that system is now racing its way up the coast off of New England. On the backside of it, we still have just a couple of leftover flurries, but some areas are definitely digging out tonight. The jackpot totals, if you will, were well north and west of Philadelphia. It didn't make it onto the list, but the top report I've seen so far, just over 7 inches. Some of the cities you might know, Easton up toward Northampton County, over 6 inches, 5.5 inches in Allentown, Norristown, just over 4 inches of snow. Manayunk, not too far from the city, 3.5 inches, 3 inches in Cherry Hill, and Wilmington, 1.8 inches of snow. The reports are still trickling in, but what's also trickling in is the bitter cold air. Look at how it feels outside. It feels like just 13 in Philadelphia, 7 in Reading. It feels like 10 below zero up in the Poconos, and we're going to be dealing with this bitter cold for a few days. And that's why we do have AccuWeather alerts through Wednesday. Notice our temperature trend. By 11 o'clock tonight, it's 24 degrees. By 5 a.m. tomorrow, we're at 20 degrees, and temperatures tomorrow are really going to struggle. So what you need to know about this cold snap we're going to be dealing with for your MLK Day Junior Day of Service, we're only looking at temperatures in the 20s, but it's not just the cold air that's a problem, it's the bitter wind chills. We will have gusts tomorrow around 30 miles per hour. That'll make it feel like we're only in the single digits, but then our feels like temperatures, Walter, Tuesday and Wednesday morning, between 0 and 15 below. So it's going to be brutal out there.
That is dangerously cold.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Brittany. Action News reporter Brianna Smith continues our team coverage tonight. She's live in Malvern, Chester County with a look at conditions out there. Brianna.
Walter, we're along Lancaster Pike, and if you take a look, you can see some of the slush that remains on the road, but I'm sure the plows will be back around soon because we've seen so many trucks on the road all day, as well as residents doing their part to remove the snow as quickly as possible. Residents in Malvern are celebrating an Eagles win with some shoveling. Heather Stevenson says this is her 3rd session.
I'm actually having an easy time shoveling right now because of my adrenaline still pumping, because as you probably saw, the last 3 minutes was like nail biting.
It's a great way to come out, clean off the car.
Meanwhile, crews are clearing and salting the snow-covered streets on South Warren Avenue and across the Delaware Valley.
It's coming down heavy, so they're keeping up with it.
PennDOT says over 430 trucks are out across the 5 counties with more than 90,000 tons of salt stockpiled. In Westchester Borough, inches of snow and slush piled up on the ground, posing some problems for travelers.
Just gotta avoid the back roads. They're bad. Basically down the one lane, it's pretty backed up. There's a couple accidents.
Pretty slippery, and just, I don't know, I've been trying to take my time. I came out to get a snack, so I don't know, definitely worth it. But if you don't have to go out, stay in the house.
the snow isn't the only concern for crews, but also the freezing temperatures that could create layers of ice.
It's definitely important to make sure that it's all cleaned up correctly so that it doesn't refreeze and then cause problems that way.
PennDOT and Westchester Borough officials advise people to stay home so they can make the streets easy to navigate.
We ask you to stay home for many reasons. For your safety, number one, but also for the safety of our emergency responders who are responding to calls to help people in need, and our snowplows who are doing a job of plowing snow and salting.
Yeah, we're feeling those cold temperatures already, and PennDOT says that crews will be out over the next couple of days clearing and salting the roads, so give them the space that they need. Also, there is a snow emergency in effect here in Malvern, Downingtown, Westchester Borough, and Philadelphia. Live in Malvern, Brianna Smith for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Walter?
Okay, Brianna, thank you. In South Jersey, traffic along Route 42 is moving, albeit slowly. Whatever has not been cleared will freeze overnight as temperatures plummet. Now, if you must be on the roads, take it easy and stay clear of the plows and salt trucks. We've got another look at the AccuWeather alert in place. The snow is out, but now brutal cold is moving in. Meteorologist Brittany Boyer has the update tonight from AccuWeather. Brittany.
And did you get out to clean your car? Because
sure did. You know I did.
Hopefully you did by now, because if you haven't yet, at least here around Philadelphia, it's kind of like cement, because we had a layer of sleet and then snow on top of it, and now temperatures are dropping very quickly, so things are freezing. So if you have to clean your car off, just give yourself enough time to do that so you can get to wherever you need to get to. Sky 6 Live, our Brandywine cam showing we still have some flurries in the vicinity of the city, but for the most part, the storm has tapered down. 26 degrees is our temperature. The wind chill is at 13, and we've got those sustained winds out of the northwest at 18 miles per hour. We're starting to get a lot of reports coming in from the National Weather Service from the snow that fell, and we kind of laid this out for you. The top reports that have been coming in from each county. Back toward Lancaster, 6 inches. The highest snowfall totals are across the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos, where we had over 7 inches of snow in Lehigh County, also Berks County. You step down into Montgomery County, 6.3 inches, the top report there. Mercer County, 2.5 inches. Then as we slide our way to the south and east, there are a couple of reports that haven't come in yet. We haven't gotten any from Cape May County, also Cumberland and Salem counties, but you can see Newcastle County, Delaware, 3 inches of snow. Spots like Ocean County, 1.5 inches. Atlantic County, 1.2 inches. That was away from the coastline. So the reports are starting to trickle in, and this system, it was in and out of here very quickly. Satellite and radar over the last 3 hours showing the snow that has come and gone. Just a couple of flurries still left around the city. Now we've got that cold air really sinking in, and overnight lows fall into the teens tonight. So that's why I said anything that hasn't been treated is going to freeze over tonight. 17 the low in Philadelphia, 12 in Allentown, 19 degrees in Millville by daybreak tomorrow. And looking ahead at the forecast for tomorrow, it's a tough one with these temperatures. 22 bitter wind chills up in the Lehigh Valley. We're looking at gusts around 30 miles per hour. So that brings us a feels like temperature in the single digits here in the city. 29, windy and cold for those that are down at the shore, and it gets even colder Monday night into Tuesday morning. Look at these wind chill values across the Northeast, from 16 below in Scranton to 16 below in Pittsburgh. 14 below in Syracuse. Here in Philadelphia, it will feel at least like 4 degrees below zero. So we have AccuWeather alerts Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. No snow you have to worry about, but bitter cold temperatures. Walter, highs on Tuesday and Wednesday only in the teens around here.
Being outside is going to hurt this coming week. All right.
Need the layers.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Brittany. Now the details from AccuWeather. A winter storm delivered several inches of snow across the Delaware Valley. Now as temperatures plunge, among the concerns now is slick spots on the roads. The weather has resulted in problems right there at Philadelphia International Airport, with more than 270 delays and 41 flight cancellations. The situation might get worse as crews work to de-ice those planes. Let's check in with meteorologist Brittany Boyer in the Weather Center with an update tonight. Brittany.
And we just got an update from the airport, officially 2 inches of snow coming from this storm, and it's been all about location. The airport picked up 2 inches, but then nearby Drexel Hill picked up about 4 inches of snow. And the system that brought the steady snow, and for some of you a little bit of a wintry mix or plain old rain, that continues to race its way toward, let's say, around the Cape Cod area up into New England. We have just a couple of flurries on the backside of the system, but it is pretty much over with at this point tonight. We're not done with the cold though, and you can see temperatures are sub-freezing in just about all locations. 29 in Cape May, Ship Bottom, 24 in Trenton. We're in the teens north and west in a few locations. Chalfont 19 degrees, 26 here in Philadelphia. And behind this storm, the winds have really kicked up out of the northwest. So those were the air temperatures, but this is what it actually feels like outside. Single digit wind chill values, 7 in Lancaster. It feels like 9 in Doylestown, 13 the wind chill in Philadelphia. Even those at the shore, temperatures feel as though they are only in the teens. And that's where we're going to kind of hang out these next couple of days during our afternoons. For your MLK Day of Service, you're going to want all the layers if you're doing anything outside tomorrow. 8 a.m. it's sunny. It feels like just 9 degrees. 11 o'clock it feels like 10. 2 o'clock it feels like 11. We really don't budge a lot with our wind chill values throughout the day on Monday. So what you need to know, those wind chills Monday only in the single digits. Some spots get into the low teens, and then we have back-to-back days where temperatures are only in the teens for daytime highs. If you're looking for some relief with these temperatures, Walter, I am looking at a milder trend by the end of the week. I'll have more on that in just a few minutes.
Can't wait for that.
I know.
Right. Thank you, Brittany. Time for another check of the AccuWeather forecast. Now that the snow has moved out, we're bracing for some brutally cold air moving in. Meteorologist Brittany Boyer has the update from AccuWeather. Brittany.
And we're definitely feeling the cold outside tonight, and many of you are looking out your window, probably looking to see how much snow you got. Around the city itself, we had about 2 inches reported at the airport, but as much as about 3.5 in spots like Manayunk, so it really just depended on your actual location. The next big thing that we're tracking now that this winter storm is over is a brutal stretch over the next 3 days, not just with our air temperatures, but also the fact that we are going to have a little bit of a wind out there, and that's going to make our wind chill factor pretty frigid. With that said, the National Weather Service has issued something called cold weather advisories, which is brand new as of this season. We no longer have wind chill warnings, wind chill watches, wind chill advisories. They're hoping to get the messaging a little bit better by having a cold weather advisory. So what that means for a lot of our area, we're looking at wind chill values below 0. Notice that this runs through Tuesday morning, and I would not be surprised if they extended right into Wednesday. So what we're looking at, again, morning wind chills, that's going to be the most brutal period. We're looking at wind chill values, how it will feel between 5 below to 15 degrees below 0. The best chance for that would be up in the Lehigh Valley. Your afternoon wind chills, single digits to around 0. That's going to be the case Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which is why we do have 3 days of AccuWeather alerts. We run the risk of hypothermia, also frostbite. You want to make sure that you don't have any exposed skin. Limit time outdoors, watch pets, check on the elderly, and if you have to, make sure you drip your faucets so your pipes don't freeze with these temperatures. Right now, we still have some flurries being reported around the airport, but the major accumulation is done by now. 26 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 18 miles per hour. It feels like just 13, and you'll notice on Storm Tracker 6 live radar, we're getting clean scans out of our exclusive radar site in Lancaster County. The snow has ended there. It has ended up into the Lehigh Valley, really just a stripe of snow showers pushing east of the city throughout parts of northern Burlington County and also northwestern Ocean County. So things are quieting down at this point tonight. The winds not exactly quiet for tomorrow. We will have gusts around 30 miles per hour. So although a good deal of sunshine, notice that we hold our wind chill values at best around 10 to 11 degrees tomorrow afternoon. The call from AccuWeather, it is bright and it is windy. Temperatures below freezing for all areas. 22 in Reading, 25 in Philadelphia, 28 degrees in Pomona. And if you think that's cold, the coldest temperatures that we've had in about 2 years arrives on Tuesday with highs only in the teens. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast shows the next 3 days we are preparing for the cold and the dangerous wind chills. 25 degrees tomorrow. Back-to-back days with high temperatures in the teens. Also take notice to the nighttime temperatures. We're only in the single digits. Briefly recovering on Thursday, 27, not as cold. And then our temperatures finally getting up to freezing on Friday, mostly sunny. And 37, 40 degrees next weekend. Oof. That's going to feel almost like a heat wave after
right?
highs in the teens for a couple days.
There's a reason we call it dangerously cold.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Brittany. Make sure you have the free 6ABC app on all your devices, along with updates from our team of meteorologists and traffic issues. You can also view how much snow fell in your neighborhood.